everyone, today's book review is all about Go Set a Watchman by Harper Lee. This was published in 2015 after it being discovered a few years before Harper passed away. And I'm going to do a discussion video about this book and the controversy behind it because I seriously can't say enough that the controversy is 100% tied into this book and the publishing and the agent and the writer. It's all mingled together. And I don't think that you can really separate it from this controversy, unfortunately. I will go into all of that detail in the discussion video, going to be in the description box below, and I will link it at the end of this video. But this is just a book review on Go Set a Watchman. Now we see Scout, or as she's usually referred to as Jean Louise, her real name, in this book, visiting her father, Atticus Finch, Dr. Finch, her uncle, and her aunt, Alexandra, and her love interest, Henry, in Macomb, Alabama, when she's 26 years old. And she is actually living in New York, so she's just coming down. I'm not completely sure why she is. I think it's just a visit with family. And we learn pretty much, light spoiler, that there is a lot of racism happening in the town, and we're seeing it in the eyes of Jean Louise and her reaction. That's pretty much the whole book. What I did like is I like going back. I read To Kill a Mockingbird when I was in high school, so it's like going back, but it's not actually because this is fast forward. But I like going back and seeing all of the characters and the new characters that pop up, and I liked knowing where they have been all these years and what came of them, and the interaction with them and Jean Louise. I also liked reading how she became a woman at 26 and what happened to Atticus Finch as well. And it's not that great. At 78 years old, or 78 or 76, he's not the greatest that we used to know of in To Kill a Mockingbird, but it does shed a light on Southern racism, or just racism, but this mainly has to do with Southern Alabama kind of issues and the Constitution. This is what he argues for, to say he's not really racist. I did like that she finally stood up to her father and became her own person. It took 26 years, but she has become her own person in this book. However, what I didn't like is there was a lot of speeches and not enough dialogue. It didn't particularly flow very well. There was one point where Harper described Jem's car bright black. Do you mean shiny? Shiny black makes much more sense than bright black. That made me laugh for a good 3 minutes, and I had to text a few people, and I totally Snapchatted about it. I couldn't help myself. And I also, the flashbacks, I can see how people would enjoy these flashbacks. If you enjoyed To Kill a Mockingbird, I gave To Kill a Mockingbird 3 stars, maybe because I was forced to read it, and I don't like being forced to read stuff, and that lowers my ratings significantly. Maybe it's just, the rebel in me, but I couldn't fully enjoy it, and I tried to read it again, and that feeling was still there. So, but I very much appreciate To Kill a Mockingbird, and for people that want to learn about the first draft of a book that Harper wanted to, write about race relations, but set it aside because it wasn't good enough, which I'll go into that in the discussion video. This is that book, and so I understand reading this as a second book in the series, but I can see why her editor turned this down for the first book, because there's flashbacks in this where if you didn't have To Kill a Mockingbird, it would make no sense. And I'm reading this and I'm thinking, I'm really kind of glad that I read and remembered To Kill a Mockingbird, because these flashbacks would mean nothing to me, because I don't know these characters if I didn't read To Kill a Mockingbird. So I can see that to be a problem for people that didn't read To Kill a Mockingbird first. I guess because if they hear, oh, this was written first, then I'll read this and then no, don't do that. To Kill a Mockingbird first, then go set a Watchman. I don't like flashbacks in general, and there were too many. And it actually took, this was a big problem for me, I deducted 1 star just for this. It took 110 pages in this copy that I got at Barnes & Noble's. I think this is the legit copy, or maybe it's a Barnes & Noble's copy, I don't know. But in this one, it took 110 pages to get to the actual plot. That's too long, and I couldn't, for the life of me, understand why I needed 110 pages. A lot of it flashbacks, but also a lot of it just her getting there and settling in. I can understand her getting there and settling in. I don't know about those flashbacks. So that was 1 star off, just for that. And I read the controversy about Atticus being racist, and I was reading, and I was on page 109, and I was thinking, okay, where is this controversy? Because I'm not finding it, I'm not reading, I don't know what's going on. And then I turned to 110, I'm like, oh, there it is. There's Atticus being racist. I got it now. Wow, okay, we're here. But it shouldn't have taken 110 pages. So I gave the Go Set a Watchman 3 out of 5 stars, but I do recommend reading it if you want to immerse yourself in Harper Lee, to understand the controversy about this novel and Harper Lee and the publishers and the agents. And if you want to read what a second draft actually reads like, because I think this is her first draft of this book. She sent it to her editor. Maybe it's a second draft. Sent it to her editor, and he was like, nah. So it's pretty good for a first draft, but it's not. It's 3 stars for me. So thank you so much for watching my book review on Go Set a Watchman. The discussion video will be in the description box and somewhere up here. If you like what you just saw, please give it a like, subscribe, share, and comment with your thoughts below. And if you want to get to know me or any of my writing, all of that is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great reading day. Bye!